Hola guapos y guapas, welcome back to my channel. So today I've prepared 10 unique Spanish words for you guys. These are not just random Spanish words. Some of these words are so unique that are untranslatable into other languages like English or Chinese, but maybe there are equivalents in Italian or Portuguese since they share more similarities. And some of these words are just words that I personally find very interesting and pretty useful as well. Without further ado, let's get into it. So word number one, do they add? Do they add? You probably don't know this word, but you definitely know the word do, right? So do they add is like the verb form of do. We know that in Spanish when you address somebody there is a do form and there is a state form. So the do form is more casual, more informal, while the state form is more formal and you want to show respect to the person that you're talking to. So do they add is a verb and it means that to address somebody in the do form. For example, you go to your friend's place and you want a cup of coffee. You ask your friend's mom, ¿Puede hacerme un café por favor? And you use the form puede because you want to show respect to your friend's mom, and your friend's mom says to you, ¿Puedes estudiarme? It means that you don't need to talk to me in the state form, just use the do form. So basically, she's telling you to address her informally. Word number two, puente, puente. So originally, puente means bridge, but the meaning that I want to share with you guys today is related to vacations. So puente basically is like a long weekend. For example, if the holiday falls on Friday, then Friday, Saturday, Sunday are like a long weekend, you can call this a puente. Or if the holiday falls on Thursday and you decided to bridge the gap between Thursday and Saturday, which means that you're gonna take Friday off as well. So basically you're having 4 days of holidays from Thursday to Sunday, and this in Spain is called a puente. Por ejemplo, ¿a dónde vas este puente? Voy a la playa. We're going for the long weekend. I'm going to the beach. Word number three, sobremesa. Sobremesa. Mesa means table, right? Sobremesa, on the table. So what do people do on the table? They have lunch or dinner, but people also talk over lunch or dinner. So sobremesa means an after dinner or after lunch conversation, or it can well be during the meal. For example, no me gustan las largas sobremesas, especialmente cuando no conozco bien a la gente alrededor de la mesa. I don't like these over-the-table conversation, especially when I don't know these people well. Word number four, botellón. Botellón. So botellón comes from the word botella, which means bottle, and botellón means a big bottle. So what can a big bottle mean? Of course, it's a big bottle of beer, not water. So basically, botellones are street parties where young people gather together, socializing while having alcohol on street in the open air. This is called a botellón. One of the reasons why young people like botellones is because it's cheap. So you get to buy a dozen of beers from the supermarket with a really low price while socializing with all your friends with maximum amount of freedom. So I've witnessed young people burning tire on the playground while having a botellón in my neighborhood. So things can go really wild in Los Botellones, which explains why young people like it. So word number five is actually a pair of words, friolero y caluroso. Friolero y caluroso. So friolero comes from frío. Friolero describes this kind of people who are really sensitive to cold, and caluroso on the contrary comes from the word calor, and it describes people who are really sensitive to the heat. I consider myself more of a friolera than a calurosa. Word number six, ajena, ajena. So it really took me a while to get the essence of this word. So basically, ajena means other people's. It's one adjective that means other people's. For example, in other people's home, en casa ajena. I don't like to sleep in other people's home. No me gusta dormir en casa ajena. I find it really interesting that there are so many Spanish words or just a combination of a couple of English words, but they use one word to express this whole thing. So there is also a very popular expression called vergüenza ajena. Vergüenza ajena. So vergüenza means shame, embarrassment, and ajena means other people. So what is other people's shame or embarrassment? It means that when you witness somebody experiencing an embarrassing situation and you and somebody else, you feel the embarrassment for that somebody, for that person. For example, if your friend fell asleep in class and you sitting behind him as his friend, te dio vergüenza ajena or te sentiste vergüenza ajena, you feel embarrassed for your friend. Word number seven, giddy. I first heard this word from my English friend because she is a typical giddy in Spain. So she's blonde, she's got fair skin, and when she stays in the sun for more than half hour, her skin turns red. Giddy actually refers to foreign tourists in Spain, but it's a very specific category of foreigners in Spain. Like for me, I'm just Chinese, or people who travel to Spain from Latin American countries or Portugal, they are not considered giddy. So normally they call foreigners from Northern Europe or the UK, Australia, New Zealand, the States, Canada. So some people would think giddy is an offensive way to call foreigners, but not necessarily. It all depends on the tone. If they're just calling you a giddy in a very muffled tone, it means that they're just like making fun of you as a friend. They don't have the intention to insult you. But if somebody calls you a giddy with despise, then of course that's offensive. But the word itself, giddy, in my opinion, I think it's pretty neutral. Word number 8, chiringuito. Chiringuito means a beach bar. We know how Spanish people love the beach and the sun and everything. So if you are also a beach lover and you travel to Spain or you live in Spain, this is a word that you must know, chiringuito. I heard this word quite often, but I haven't really got a chance to use this word in my daily life because I haven't really been to like beaches in Spain because of the pandemic. Hopefully one day I get to say to my friend, voy a coger un mojito en el chiringuito. Word number 9 is also a very typical Spanish word, merendar, the verb form, or merienda, its noun form. As I said in my culture shock video in Spain, generally people will have lunch at around from 2 to 4 more or less, and people have dinner at 9 or 10. Of course, not everybody follows this schedule, but many Spanish people do. So merienda or merendar happens between lunch and dinner. So more or less it takes place at around 5:30 to 6:30 when people feel like having some snacks. It can be a bocadillo or any sort of snack. A Spanish friend once asked me, ¿Quieres merendar mañana? So basically she's asking me if I wanna get together with her at around like 5 to 6, having some coffee or cakes maybe. So the word merendar or merienda are actually quite useful in daily lives, and it's like closely tied to Spanish culture. And word number 10, yes, we're finally coming to an end. So word number 10 isn't really like a real word, so it's an interjection. Wow. Wow. This is a sound that dogs make when they bark. Wow, wow. It's like woof, woof. And then one day my friend said to me, do you know that when Spanish people write wow, they also write wow? I was like, what, really? So if you wanna express sorpresa, you say wow. You don't write W-O-W in Spanish, you write wow. And personally, I think these are the words that differentiate a beginner with an advanced Spanish learner, because you know how to use a more specific word, a word that native Spanish speaker would use to describe a certain situation. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun making it. So that's it for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao!